Hopefully this is actually working this time. I just spent an hour yapping and going through this stuff for everybody. Oh boy. Never a dull moment on YouTube, or not on YouTube, or lack thereof. Alright, so it looks like it's actually working. So I'm going to go into what I've already said. So I guess we'll call that a dry run. Thanks, Keith. I should have known nobody said anything. I should have known nobody said anything. That's my own fault. Anyway, guys, thanks everybody, and welcome. With the beginning of fall this weekend is also starting the beginning of the Fall Championship Series here on KingPittdawg Racing in the HECS, which we're going to be renaming. I got to think of something better for the H. but it's going to keep the same acronym. But we're through our spring and summer series, and our regular season champion is crowned. Congratulations, Steve Sanders, on winning our regular season championship and picking up an additional 5 FCS points, in addition to the 5 he won for winning the summer series and 5 he won for winning the spring series. And congratulations on Eric on winning our big Daytona event and gaining 10 FCS points. With 556 overall points, Eric was our champion at our Daytona races, including the FQ200K, the Kevin P. KPD, Instagram at Kevin P. _KPD 250K, and the KingPittdawg Racing 500K. Congratulations on individual wins there in the FQ2. Congratulations on Cody for picking up the inaugural Craftsman Truck Race victory. Yeah, thanks, guys. And pretty dominating performance. I didn't even realize it because I was so busy keeping track of stats. Eric won multiple races and the main event. So good job, Eric. And including he won the Kevin P. _KPD 250K. And finished second to Cody in the FQ200K. And again, won the KingPittdawg Racing 500K. So good job, Eric. Good job showing your mastery of the draft there and picking up those points. Our number 2 finisher was Nook with 512 points, Steve Sanders with 430, then Nick Zippy with 387, myself 384, Makoto with 373, and Adam with 345. So very close there from 4th all the way down to 7th. And then Graham, having missed a few races, finished with 250. Kyle Ramsey with 142, Cody with 111, and Keith with 1 race managed to salvage 89 points and his 5th place in the overall championship as far as the summer series goes. So summer series final event standings was Steve Sanders in first with 1,867 points, Nook Holmes second with 1,609 points, and he did miss a couple of races, I believe, in there, so a good finish up there for Nook. And then Eric finishing on the podium in the summer series with 1,451 points. Myself in the
I had a pretty bad series / season everywhere, aha.
No, you didn't do too bad, actually, Makoto. Because I finished 4th, and then 5th was, and this is the summer series. The 5th was Keith. Again, he missed the big points in the Daytona races, but still managed to finish 5th after finishing 3rd in the spring. And then, let's see, where was I at? I don't have these in actual order. Adam, nice job coming back and finishing 7th. And then Makoto, you were 9 points behind Adam for 8th. Graham finished in the top 10 after missing quite a few races, 946 points. Kyle Ramsey, and this is the summer series, 10th with 697 points. And then Cody finished 11th with his victory at the FQ200K.
But you didn't run all the races either, did you, Makoto?
I think he missed a few here and there, or one event or something. But he still did pretty good. 12th was John Hendrickman, who missed several events in the summer series after finishing a strong. He finished a strong 5th in the spring series. So that brings him in the top 10 as far as this overall season. And then once we got past John, it was some of our part-time guys, and then Jeff is going to run the fall series with us. Or at least he had committed to it earlier. He's eligible for it, the championship.
I think I had something coming up that day.
Yeah, I remember that, yeah. So adding in the additional drivers that qualified for the Fall Championship Series. So our top 8 in the spring was Steve, Keith, I'm sorry, Jeff Taylor, just a guy. He was 2nd, and then Keith was 3rd. And then 4th was myself. 5th was John Hendrickman, John Witzel. 6th was Eric Carson. 7th, Nook. 8th was Graham. 9th was Nick Zippy. And so the top 8, and Nick was the first one out of the Fall Championship Series in the spring, but he's also the first one in the Summer Series that was not qualified. So the additional qualifiers for the Fall Championship Series Championship, again, anybody can run these races as long as they're not full, which they usually aren't, and that's why I've changed the points system. The additional drivers qualified are Nick, Zippy, Makoto, Adam, Kyle Ramsey, Cody, Keith was already qualified. John Witzel was already qualified. Spencer, Jeff was already qualified. Jeff Rodeo is qualified. Troy, Gary, and then we've got alternates with Joshua and Ken Shinobi that can also run because they were the next highest finishers in points on the spring and summer series respectively. So if none of these other drivers race, they come in and race, they would actually be able to run for the championship if they stick with the events and want to run for the championship. So regular season, Steve Sanders, 2,622 points, a huge advantage over Nook in second with 2,029 points. Myself in third at 1,928 points. Only 2 drivers over 2,000 points overall in the season. And then 4th was Eric with 1,896 points. 5th was Mr. Keith Watson with 1,852 points. 6th was Nick Zippy at 1,645. 7th was Adam. 8th was Graham with 1,362. I'm sorry, Adam, you had 1,483. Graham with 1,362. And Makoto was right behind Graham with 1,345 at 9th. And 10th was John, who, again, didn't get as many points in the summer series. So he still finished 10th at 950 points. And then Jeff, having running only one event in the summer series, but having a strong 668 points in the spring series, had 858 points in 11th.
1,600 points, damn.
That's a lot of points, man. And all we do is reset them. But hey, that's good, man. That's really good. So, 12th, let's see, 12th, where was 12th? Why do I not see 12th on here? 11th. 12th was Kyle with 814. 13th was Cody with 514, who did not participate in the spring.
So many points.
Yeah.
You share some with me.
Yeah, I think you should spread the wealth a little. 14th again, Spencer. 15th was, let's see, where's 15th? It's missing. Oh, that was Joshua. 15th was Joshua. 16th was Logan. And then 17th was Jeff Rodeo, Troy, Gary, and Ken. Those are all your points that are above 100. So the 20 cars that I tracked were all above 100.
Ken, LOL, I apparently have a few hundred to spare.
All right, so that being said, we reset, and I haven't got that written up yet, all the reset, but we'll be resetting. Everybody's going to have 1,000 points basis that are qualified for the Fall Championship Series. And, oh, I didn't do this. I apologize, people. I did this already once, but nobody heard it. So, okay, so we're revising the point system, and I'll get this stuff on paper, or not on paper, but posted. I've got pretty much everything revised. I just went into the original points and redid it, but it takes a while to type all this because it's pretty in depth here. So, all right. So points, we're still using the burp method. So bonus, event, and race points, but we're changing it up. I'm eliminating the start bonus per race, and we're increasing the points, and we're fixing the points for the events, the qualifying heat races, and the main event races. So, to make this as quick as we had, as far as bonus points go, there will be a fast lap bonus. That is the only 1 point bonus that we will have in the bonus system. So fast lap at every race. Qualifying is now considered, what I'm calling qualifying, is considered our average finish in the qualifying heat races. Because the qualifying heat races, in each event, you're going to have 3. So that gives you an idea of what we're dealing with there. Qualifying heat races, 3 of them per event. That's our main setup. So your average in that is going to be broke down to the top 10 are going to get points in the qualifying heat races. Okay, so first place in average on the qualifying heat races is going to get 10 points, and then all the way down to 10th place with 1. So it's 1 point differential. Easy enough. The qualifying heat races. The first one is going to be based on actual qualifying at a race. So that'll be the first qualifying heat race line. Whoop, I'm sorry, cut out there for a minute. Based on that amount. So qualifying heat races, the first race is going to start by the qualifying at the event. Okay? And you're going to... Why am I losing connection here? It's very odd. Maybe I'll unplug my phone here. That might be causing some interference. But let's shut this off because this is frickin' annoying when they do this shit. We'll have a little bit of light music in the background here. Alright, again, qualifying is now considered for the main events, plural. And it's going to be based on the qualifying heat races. Qualifying heat races will get a start bonus. The first one's going to be based on actual qualifying, which will be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, first through 5th. And then the second race will be determined by die roll invert of the race finish. And then the third race will be finished, will be determined by a invert of the, I'm sorry, two die roll inverts on the next 2 qualifying heat races. So I did better than this earlier. So here, let's do this again. Qualifying heat race 1, qualifying at the track. Okay, so you're qualifying 5 or 10 minutes, whichever it is for the track. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. First place through 5th place. Those are start bonuses, okay? Because the next race is going to be determined by the die roll invert of the first race results, and the second one will be the same. So we get 2 die roll inverts on those after you start the first race by qualifying. And again, the reason I'm simplifying this, people, is because I want to make sure that make sure this video is still going. Okay, sounds like it is. So I'm going to keep checking because that was a lot of work. So that's basically your bonus points. That's the B in our burp. The event points now are based on 100 points for first place. And again, this is your average finish in the qualifying heat races and the main event race or races. So event points now be 100 for first, 97 for second, 95 for third, 93 for fourth, 91 for fifth, and then from 6th down to 16th is 1 point. So 90, 89, 88, all the way down to 80. If you participate in the event and don't, if you participate in the event At any point, you're going to get a minimum of 75 points. So, and the reason I say that is it's conceivable that we could have 20 or more people in there, so I'm just leaving that open. Okay, so that's your event points. So BE. Now R, we've got race points as far as qualifying heat races and then main event races. Okay, qualifying heat races, very simple. 20 points per race for winning, 18 for second, 17 for third, and then from there on down from the podium, it's 1 point differential to 10th place, and then 10th through 16th would all score at least 10 points. Okay, you could also get a qualifying or a fast lap bonus. So again, that if somebody has a problem, so here's the example. Somebody has a problem and they're on medium tires. They can come in and say, okay, I'm going for it. They come in and change onto soft tires and try to go for that fast lap bonus. And you don't have to worry about it if you lose it, because you're going to get the same points for 10th to 16th. It's going to be 10 points. That's like your start bonus. Okay? Main event races. If it's a single main event race, it's going to be 101 points to win, 98 for second, 95 for third, 93 for fourth, and 91 for fifth. Sixth on down, it's 1 point less up till 84 for 12th, and then it's going to be 84 all the way down to 16th place. So if you participate in a race and you're the last car, you're still going to get 84 points for a main event race. Okay? If you participate in the qualifying heat races or any time in the event, you're going to be scored for 80 points on that race, no matter if you're there or not. Okay? If you run it or not. Again, if you can't run the main race but want to run the qualifying heat races, you're going to score a lot of points. I encourage everybody not to at least get in here for a race. Okay? Because you're going to get a minimum of 75 points for the event points and 80 points for the races. That's 150 points just for participating. Okay? If it's a double race, it's going to go 50, 48, 47 for the top three, and then from there it'll be 1 point down to 12th, where it's 38 points, all the way to 16th, and you're going to get a minimum of 36 points per race if you participate. So again, if you have a problem with the internet, you have to go to work tomorrow, and you can't make it to the races, because some of these races are going to be late. Participate and you're going to get points. If it's a triple race, 33 points for first, 31 for second, 29 for third, and then 1 point less all the way down to 12th, and everybody will get 20 points from 12th to 16th. And a minimum of 18 points if it's a triple race if you participated in the event. Now, the qualifying heat races, if you don't participate in the race, you get no points for the races, okay? But I will classify you as a 17th place finish for your average. So I've ran through scenarios. I ran through some of our other results from our events, and this will be an excellent way to keep the field close. Okay? So this Fall Championship Series, I encourage everybody who's in it. You could miss a race or a few races and still possibly win the championship, because I'm putting enough points out there. And this, again, I'm trying to encourage people to join the races and be there with us and just have fun. Okay? And I want to see people enjoying the races and not having to spend a ton of time practicing. Okay? So if the qualifying heat races are supposed to be our practice. That's what heat races are. When you go to like a local event, or you go to one of these, you have the heat races, and then you work your way up to the main event. And that gives you a time to tweak your car, find out how it reacts, and so on and so forth. So, the season kicks off Saturday night. I'm going to open the room somewhere between 8:30 and 9 o'clock, and we should be going qualifying. I would like to go there, get everybody in the room, and start qualifying right around 10 after or a quarter after. And we can practice. We'll have some open lobbies. But I just don't want people to feel discouraged because they can't come in and race. You know, if you know, practice is fine. Like I said, it's not I'm not against practicing. I just don't want people to think that they have to come in and spend hours upon hours practicing. Okay, this is supposed to be a fun event for everybody. So, I think I've covered everything there. Again, we're at Fuji Friday night. We're going to be in these HSSSR cars, the hissers, as I'm calling them.
Not much time between now and Saturday, so it should level the field a bit.
Yeah, and we're driving new cars with new setup. So let's get right into the HSSSR cars. I know there's been a lot of questions on those. Basically, I posted up the results. All the cars are going to be the same, except for a few tweaks that make them different. Mostly the power restriction and the ballast. So let's start here since I was halfway through the...
As I get the car built, I'm practicing day and night.
That's fine. You can if you want. But this was the car I was working on. I was about 10 or 11 into the list here.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
So I'm going to start by just doing a quick review here.
Also too many French car. It's the right brand, but wrong car. DS is Citroën.
Right. So this it's just the car I was on when I realized I wasn't broadcasting. So if you look through here, pretty much every car is going to have the same setups as far as fully customizable suspension, fully customizable LSD. If it's an all-wheel drive car, torque vectoring center differential, fully customizable manual transmission, power restrictor and ballast, and full control computer.
Not my car still.
Right. Aero. I'm putting some aero on these cars. And as you can see over here, most of the cars are not going to have engine tuning. Okay, it's mostly going to be a few rate reductions to get that minimum weight. And this car is a pretty good split. So let me start back at the beginning. First thing you want to do, and what I was saying on my video before when it wasn't working, according to YouTube, but it was according to PlayStation. So we're going to go out, and we're going to go the first step you want to do when you buy a car. And all of these cars, and when I go to switch, I'll show you all the cars on the list. First thing you want to do is wide body. Okay, so don't forget that, because as Steve and other people have said, if you don't get that...
Is that a you-go? Change the oil.
You can change the oil if you want. So car customization. First thing is the wheels, and I've found going through this list, which nobody got to see, is that there is a great difference in the wheels. So I'm going to ask you to run the minimum size wheel that you can run. Wide is good. Okay, minimum size wheel between 18 and 17. Some of these cars don't have. Some of them have 16. But I'm going to ask you to run the minimum size wheel if there's no 16s available. Okay, so 16 I was going to make the spec wheel, but I realized going through this list that that's not possible. So this one we're going to put on the 17s.
Brand required.
No specific wheel, just it's got to be 16, 17, or 18, and it's got to be wide if you can do it. There's a couple of them like the Scirocco that you can't. So, aero, front, we want the most aggressive front splitter we can put on it. So this one's got the A side just to keep it even, but you can, if there's another option, you can use the other option if you want on the side skirts. Rear one, then this one does not have an option. So I think this already has a splitter rear bumper on it. And then the wing, almost all the hatchbacks are going to be Type A. Okay? Just so you guys know, most of the hatchbacks are going to be Type A, and then the other wings on the sedans and coupes is going to be Medium 22. Racing items, hood pin, tow hook as you wish, roll cage where you can. Most of these cars don't allow roll cage. This car I've already done the light bulb, the license plates. I always put the license plate on the rear. If you're in Europe, you can run the long license plates you guys have. And you can't set the caliper color until after you add the customized brakes. So that's it for customization, and then we're going to jump over into the tuning shop. And again, I want all cars to have the same options, and we're going to detune the car with the power restrictor and ballast. So we're going to go out of here, go into the tuning shop. And I've been talking for over an hour and a half straight now, so I'm starting to get a little hoarse. Even though you guys couldn't hear me.
I feel targeted by the plates things.
Well, no, we got, yeah, whatever. Power restrictor and ballast, especially into next season, because this car is going to be one of our main cars. This particular car we use, and we will be adding next year in the series. We're going to be.
Sorry if I missed this, but is this the only car for this weekend?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the HSSSR car, the HISSR, as I like to call it. The HISSR cars are going to be our race cars this weekend. So, fully customizable computer,
On the floor laughing.
fully customizable manual transmission,
Okay, thank you.
and the increased body rigidity. Again, these are basically the WSS cars, Steve, but I'm just standardizing them because I wanted to add more car availability on them. And some people may, have a favorite brand they might want to run, like Mr. Makoto. I know he wants to run a French car. Increased body rigidity. I'm not requiring that, but knowing how the physics in the game work, I am adding that to every one of my cars on here. So I would recommend it. Now, as far as the racing, any turbo cars, I'm going to have you add the racing intercooler, air filter, and muffler exhaust manifold, racing brake pads. I've been buying both sets of the racing discs. I don't think it actually makes a difference because I think from a physics standpoint, the game just basically gives you the same heat dissipation with either one, but who knows. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, and then of course we need our medium tires, but I would recommend soft and hard because, like I said before, if somebody has an issue, they may want to go for that fast lap bonus because it will make a difference.
Supercharger to run the intercooler.
This one's got a turbo, so it doesn't need it's a racing intercooler, so it doesn't need a supercharger. So this one's got a turbo. Speaking of turbo, I am now the proud owner of a 7M GTE turbo set. Actually, I don't have it yet, so I shouldn't count my chickens before they hatch, but my buddy who I bought my silver Supra from is selling me his 7M turbo setup with radiator, a full exhaust, and a...
Okay. I'm opening up GT now to go through this car as you do.
Sure, no problem. And again, all of this stuff will be standard. Yeah, thank you. Yes, and this one has some built internals. It's very minimal, but it'll be excellent for what I'm going to do. And now I just got to figure out which car to put it in. So that should cover our DS3 racing option. And we're going to go in here and I will show you the settings. And again, this will be the spec for the car. That's why I'm going through these and so deliberately. And I'm setting the spec based on racing medium tires. We are at 105 ballast to get this thing up to weight. And again, this one had to get up to weight. And then power restrictor is at 100%. So, again, as I mentioned in my other video, but nobody heard me, most of these cars aren't going to have engine tuning. There's a few of them we had to, or minimal stuff. But I'm trying to use bolt-on mods for this and then restrict it where we can. Alright, so we'll start there. Now, I am going to actually, with the next car coming up, I believe, this was going to be my car I was going to build.
I swear if there was a Citroën C5X7 in the game I would race that, but they didn't put the greatest asterisk modern asterisk Citroën.
Well, here's where I started in my video in case you guys wanted to know how far I am. I'm almost through all the cars. So, alright. So I am wrong. The GT is later on the list. I'm going to do that car last. So the Civic Type R, this was a higher horsepower car, so we had to restrict it a little more than I really wanted to, but this car just looks cooler than the other version, so... You can build the other version if you want, but get with me on what we do on it. Again, I want to see everything with the same mods. Just to keep it... I think it'll be easier for us to tune if we just move it around that way. So, first step, and I'm going to go through this every time and annoy the piss out of everybody. wide body. Just because if you don't do it, you're going to be redoing everything and spending a lot more money. Car customization. Again, the smallest tires over 16 you can use. So this one we're going to go... This one only allows us, I think, 18s. Yeah, so 18s on this one. So that's what was on there. It's just, for some reason, it defaults to the standard one when you go in there to try to change it. So, but again, any wheels you want, I don't care what wheels you run, as long as they're the smallest thing over 16 or 16. Custom parts front, the most aggressive splitter. Side skirts just to match up. And your rear wing, again, this one's a little different. Because you got a couple options, but we're going to run the medium, it's supposed to be medium 22. Medium 22 on this one. Okay, medium 22 is the official wing, type A is the other. Simple enough. Racing items, hood pin, tow hook. This one has a roll cage. As you can see, I've equipped it.
Okay, question. What is this car for? I thought the DS was the only car.
No, I'm no.
So lost, LOL.
Okay, Steve. No, there's a lot more options. Okay, there's like 20 cars available. So that's what I'm trying to do is spread it out here. So light bulb, however you want. License plate. I like to do the Type A. Caliper color. I like to match them up. Although that one didn't match. Well, we're going to keep this one red then. Oh, we're matching the red seats.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, so I'm going through the whole list of cars here. This is going to be a fairly drawn-out video here. And I'll hit everything on here for you guys. And again, so if somebody says, oh, I'm going to drive that car, just go to that part of the video and just follow me through it, because I'm going to go through every step. Again, we already did our wide body first. And then tuning shop. We'll start at our sports tab. Weight reduction stage 1 in this car. Power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer we're going to add. Fully customizable LSD and manual transmission. And then I am adding increased body rigidity to all these cars I build. Again, it's not required, but I would definitely recommend it knowing the physics of the game. It's probably going to make for a better handling driving car. So this car is a turbo. And again, we're getting consistent with everything we've got, and we're going to restrict the car based on having all these things in it. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, and then of course our tires. Nothing on this one on the Extreme or Ultimate. And we'll go back to detune this thing. Because right now this car I think had 315 horsepower initially. So we're already at 80. So that gets us to 264, 253. So 96 on the output, 37 on the ballast, and 70 on the power restrictor. Again, I want to see everybody being consistent to make sure we can get these cars tuned. And we'll tweak them as we need to. But 96, what I would watch if you're planning on a car is right here. The torque. This car still got quite a bit of torque. Okay, so depending on what car you want to choose. And again, shows you what we allow over here. Just weight reduction stage 1 and increased body rigidity. But there's your Honda. $96, $37, $70. Again, we're going to use the power restrictor up first and then go from there. So now, on to the next one. I built a few more of these cars last night, but the Mazda, this is one of the prettiest cars on the market. I'm sorry, people can argue with me about it, but these cars, I mean, just inside and out, everything on these cars is nice. Alright, so we'll take a brief synopsis of the settings before we go in here. You can see this one required a little bit more work to get the power up. And then we just restricted it a little bit to get back down in the specs. And this one has all-wheel drive.
Hold up, what Mazda is that I have to buy it?
That's the Mazda 3. And again, most of these are out of the new cars. Don't forget, wide body. And again, the smallest tires, the closest tires you can get to 16. I guess we can go 17. So they don't give me a wide offset on this one. Front, most aggressive splitter. Side, what you want. That one's got a little bit of a kick up in it. Look at that. Rear, splitter style where it's possible. See how this one has the splitter style right there. And then the wing is going to be, in this particular case, it's type A, or type B, which is different than most of them. But should give you the most adjustment. This isn't going to give you much. Hood pin tow hook as you wish. No roll cage available in this car. Light bulb. Super cool. Just like me. And our ubiquitous red Brembos, matching our 46V Soul Red Crystal 4-coat. 4-stage paint. So that's our customization for the Mazda 3 2019. And then on to the tuning shop. And again, we want to make sure all these cars are equal. I did not initially set this up like this. Weight reduction stage 1 on this one. Bore up high lift camshaft and high compression pistons. Weight reduction stage 2, power restrictor and ballast. Racing crankshaft, fully customizable computer, fully customizable LSD, fully customizable manual transmission, and increased body rigidity allowed. Racing intercooler, air filter muffler, exhaust, racing brake pads. Like I said, I'm going to buy all the discs. I don't think it makes a difference, but you can run what you please. And then our tires. And then that's it. Oh, we actually had to buy up the bore up here too. So now we went to a 2.2 liter. And we're at 254 horse and 2,800 pounds. So again, just to get you your spec. Again, 100 on the output until we use up the power restrictor. Ballast at 42 on this car to get it to spec, and then power restrictor at 96. If you've got all-wheel drive, get that torque vectoring center differential. I think I forgot to mention that when we were in there. So there is your Mazda 3 2019. A very pretty car in my opinion, especially in Soul Red Crystal. Oh, shoot, went one too many there. So from now on, all the cars should be pretty close to being set. So let's go on to the RX-7 Spirit Type R. This car I don't think I modified too much. This is one of our WSS cars that I built but didn't run. So we'll take a look at the spec on this. 255 horse, which is the max the rooms will be set at. And we only have weight reduction stage 1, so we'll be adding a little bit to that. We also got to add the exhaust manifold. So let's go and go right across the board. And again, just to make sure nobody ends up spending too much. Wide body, wide body, wide body. Don't forget. See, this one can go to 17-inch. That's what I had on it before, obviously. Custom parts front, the most aggressive splitter. See how this one's not as aggressive? We'll go with this one. No sides available because it's already got them. The rear, we're adding the splitter on the rear. And the wing is going to be custom wing, medium type 22. Racing items, hood pin, tow hook, roll cage. Roll cage is already in the car, as you can see. Lights, super cool, just like me, like I said. Caliper color, we're going to use the black one on this one. And that is our cosmetics on the RX-8, sorry, Spirit R. I also built an RX-7 in here too, so...
Hi, Dad.
I don't claim you, son. Wait.
Me I brought another RX-8 for no reason.
So weight reduction stage 1 on this car. Power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer. Fully customizable LSD. And like I said, not required, but I'm adding it to every car I'm building. Increased body rigidity. Also, this car is a natural aspirated, so no racing intercooler, but we do need to add the racing exhaust manifold. Racing brake pads, and again, I'm buying both sets of discs. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, and our tires. And again, mediums are our spec tire, but, like I mentioned before, the fast lap bonus is becoming more and more important, so if you have a problem and spin out, best thing to do is come into the pits, get yourself some soft tires, because it doesn't matter if you finish from 12th to 16th, you're going to get the same amount of points. Same thing in the qualifying heat races. So get out there and get yourself that fast lap bonus. Come in and get them soft tires on and rock and roll. So we got to go reset the power restrictor on this one because we bumped up the power just a little bit with that racing exhaust manifold. So now we're going to be at probably 96, no, 93, or 95, 254. Again, 255 is the max. Our goal is 250 to 255. 2,800 pounds minimum, so we're going to be 55 on the ballast. And then you can see no engine mods on this one, just the weight reduction and increased body rigidity. So that is our RX-8 Spirit R12. So, in the spirit of... get it, Spirit? Where's my RX-7? I thought I built an RX-7. I thought I built an RX-7, maybe I didn't. Well, I think I've got one, so let's find one. Oh, I know I got one in here somewhere. I don't think we can detune the Mark IV enough. There we go. Alright, so this is going to be a from scratch. First things first. Wide body, 50,000 in this car. Holy shnikes. Stretch that baby out. So that's step one in any of these cars. And you're getting to see it live here, building and creating the RX-7 Spirit A for the HECS HSSR race car. Now that car's standing up in the air pretty good.
Now, hi Dad.
Uh-oh.
I brought another RX-8 for no reason.
YouTube's acting up on
Stream
me.
is dead. Back.
Yeah, looks like stream is still working. Again, the splitter style rear bumper. And the wing is going to be custom medium 22.
Yup, it died for a wee second.
That must be what happens when when it doesn't replays all the messages. Just kind of gets stuck. Alright, there's our cosmetic upgrades on this RX-7. Racing items, hood pin. I always like Type A. Tow hook. I like Type B. And roll cage. Full roll cage, Type C.
Well, I got my car already, LOL.
You can run multiples. Alright, now we're going to the tuning shop. It's going to be bare minimum in this car because it's already overpowered.
I got mine in the backup.
I got one of each, obviously, being the master. I'm the HECS master. The king of HECS. Oh, am I corny? 2,800 pounds. This car already is at the weight it needs to be. So we're going to add our power restrictor. Whoop. Power restrictor and ballast.
Billions of backup. D. No excuse if your car dies.
Yeah, right. I know, right? That was good. Increased body rate. Man, this car is expensive. Fully customizable LSD. Fully customizable manual. This is a turbo. This car is getting up there. This car may not be able to be restricted enough. 8,000? It's 3,000 on all the other cars. Jeez. Break the bank here in this thing. Alright, so there we go.
Cars are expensive.
This car might not qualify. We'll see. But anyway, at least I got a really super cool RX-7 if it doesn't. Alright, let's see if we can get this thing detuned enough. It's badass. I love the looks of these cars. Alright, so here we go. Ballast, we don't need any ballast. Yeah, we're gonna have to go max. Ooh, we almost made it. Alright, so this car is acceptable. It's actually a little better than the other ones. There's another one that's pushing the limits as well, but we've got all the parts we need, all the goodies. And we're good to go, and we're still under the 605 limit that I'm probably gonna set the room at. So... And again, we'll look at that because of the fact that I want everybody to have an opportunity to put soft tires on. So we may just set the room. I just want to keep everybody honest. Tell me that ain't a badass, cool-ass looking car. Even the interior was cool on these things. It's still cool. And it's what, 30 years old? There is your RX-7 built from scratch, and it only cost me about $300,000. Alright, so on to the next car. We'll kind of keep them in order if we can here. Try to keep my manufacturer here. Whoop. Alright guys, so here.
I want 1x3.
So here we are. These are our cars all along the top here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What is there? 6 across here? 6, 12, 18... 24, actually the DB5, I was trying to get that time trial, so 24 cars eligible so far. So in staying with the Mazda 90s theme, let's go to an older car here, and we'll jump in. Let's see, what do we want to get in here? I don't really want to lose track, but I know I started with the DS3, so let's see. Well, let's go with Mr. 2, because this car is done. So all I got to do is review this with you. So, car settings here, fully customizable, everything that can be possibly done. This one's at 85 on the restrictor after we added all the mods. And only the increased body rigidity. The car had to have some... it had to have no balance. This car was actually exactly the right weight, just like the RX-7. But I'll still run through it real quick with you, just so you can see what to add. First things first, wide body. Next step, wheels. So 15 or 16-inch wide on this one. Front splitter, side skirts, and I went with the body color. They're basically the same on this one. Rear splitter type exhaust. I'm sorry, I was looking at the exhaust stack. Rear splitter type bumper, and the wing is medium 22. And again, these are the WSS cars modified. So that's why we got our HSSR modification on these. Tuning shop, again, this one, we ignore the sports tires. Those were from the Winter Sprint series. But then power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer. Whoop. Fully customizable LSD. Manual transmission and increased body rigidity is your option. Racing intercooler, this is a turbo car. Racing air filter, muffler, exhaust, brake pads, either one of the brakes or both, like I did. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, and your racing tires. Again, you only have to have mediums, but I would definitely recommend getting more than that. And that is Mr. 2. Just to stay consistent, I'm going to go back into the settings here and show you. The only thing we need to set is the power restrictor to 85, and that'll get us right in the spec, right smack dab in the middle of the range, and we're already at 2,800 pounds. Nope, I keep bouncing out of this one. I can just click right there. Alright, so now let's go down to the bottom of the list again, and we've got the Alpine. This car I did not go through yet, so we'll go through this one. So there's nothing on this one over here. And we're missing a few things, so we will need some restriction. I think this car had just about 200, the right horsepower. So we'll build this one. I like these cars. Again, first things first, don't forget, wide body first, wide body first. Then, like I said, the shortest thing around 17 you can use. If the only, there's a few that 18 is the minimum, so, but 17 if you can. Let's put it that way. Custom parts, again, front aggressive splitter, give you some aero, side, rear is already on this car, wing, custom wing set, medium, this should be 22, so that's adjusted, now we're fixed. So medium type 22. Racing items, hood, pin, and tow hook, I've got A and B. No roll cage available on this car. Light bulbs, super cool, just like me. Type A, and then caliper. We're going to put blue on this one. So that is your customization, and then on to the tuning shop where we've got to add a few things and then restrict it. Club Sports power restrictor and ballast, fully customizable computer, LSD and manual transmission, increased body rigidity. This one is a turbo, so we're going to add the intercooler, racing air filter, racing muffler, racing exhaust manifold. Like I said, I'm getting both even though you don't have to. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, and your tires. Nothing else on this car. So we're going to go reset it to spec, and that will be your spec. $167 on the ballast to get this one up to weight. And our power restrictor now is going to have to be down sometime around 82, I would guess. Yep, 82. So, pretty good guess. And then we've got our medium tires on, and we're showing at a 589.04. Increased body rigidity. Again, the only modification really on this car, besides the bolt-on mods. So that's your Alpine A110. Now on to the Silvia Spec R Aero. Obviously a car I've driven. This was the Chicago street race car I ran. Or Tokyo street race car, which was in honor of the Chicago street race. This car is in spec. There's no mods. Looks like we got everything on it. A little bit of ballast. So let's go through the whole system again. As mentioned, I'm going to do it on every single car. Wide body, wide body. Wide body. In case somebody's watching this video and building this car. Car customization, we're going to go into the wheels. Probably go to 17 inch on this one, I don't know. Yeah, we'll go 17. So there's that. You want to add your more aggressive splitter. Again, that'll probably give you more aero. I think it's giving you up to 100. Side, and then you can have the painted, which on this, again, the side doesn't really matter on there. So this one I'm going to keep Type A. Rear, Type B, the splitter style rear bumper. And the wing is custom wing. Medium should be Type 22, so we're going to fix that. There we go. Hood pin tow hook roll cage is in this car, full roll cage.
So pretty much all the cars from the Winter Series plus old THR ones you added, correct?
Yeah, and everything is going to have the same mods on it. Instead of like some of them had some mods and some the Winter Sprint Series cars had some, we're just using the power restrictor to limit the power. So all the cars are going to be somewhere between, like, from looking, they're going to be somewhere between like 590 and like 605 is what I've seen for most of them on mediums. So it's going to be pretty close racing no matter what you choose, I think. So we'll verify. This car was still set the Winter Sprint rules, so which we did run at the street race. So that was the
Gotcha, same exact mods on old cars, just power adjusted.
Yes, sir. Yep. I figured that'd be the easiest way to get so many cars matched without having to spend a bunch of time. And we'll tweak things as we go, because like I said, next season we'll run these cars more often along with the Cup cars. And then the Super Cup cars I plan on building. Going to work on that probably during the off-season, like during the Christmas break, because I will run some exhibition races just like just like GT does. Okay, so power restrictor and ballast.
You're already spending a bunch of time rolling on the floor, laughing, clapping hands.
Well, yeah, but this is just for everybody else, not necessarily for me. Fully customizable LSD, fully customizable manual transmission, increased body rigidity. It's a turbo car, so it needs racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, exhaust, racing brake pads, racing brake kit. Get the other one too. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, a racing clutch and flywheel, and your tires. That's it.
I've done it also.
So now we got to go reset this one because we added the fully customizable computer. Should bring us right about the 600 mark. So 30 ballast to get it up to weight. And we're going to go right where I should have went, right to 85. So everything else is installed. $255 horsepower. That is your Sylvia Spec-R Aero S15. Alright, in keeping with that theme of Nissans, let's go into the 180SX. And we did end up having to make this a 200SX. So we'll take a quick view and then we'll go in. So we had to stroke this thing up a little bit to get some more power out of it. So let's start from the beginning. GT Auto. Wide body. You can't do that to this car. Just because I hit the wrong button, man. I'm sorry. So, owned wheels. Whoop, whoop, no, get out of there. 17-inch. So I guess it'd be the closest to 17-inch that we can get. Let's see if the 16s look better on this one. Yeah, it doesn't really make much difference. So we'll go 17. Custom parts. This one's got some really nice options here. This splitter looks pretty aggressive on this car. I'm curious to see if the settings, if it allows more downforce or not. But it doesn't go all the way across. Side is one option in this car. Rear, splitter style, where possible. And wing is medium 22. Hood pit tow hook and the roll cage installed. Look, you get the pop-up headlight function there. And this one we already put the black calipers on.
Hola.
Hola, buenas noches. Mis muchos carros de carreras. I think I said that right. My many race cars. Alright, so this car, power restrictor and ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable LSD manual transmission, and increased body rigidity. Again, that's optional, but I would recommend it based on the physics of this game. So this one goes from a 1.8 liter to a 2 liter with the stroke up. And then racing intercooler, muffler, exhaust, manifold, brake pads, racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller, and our tires. And nothing else on this car. And we're going to have 50 ballast to get this thing up to weight, and power restrictor at 100. And so we're right at the max, and we're right where we need to be. Just with our stroke up. So that is the now 200SX. Actually, you know what? One thing I want to do? I want to set this to HSSR, so if we ever want to change it, the HSSR race cars. Alright, so there is our new 200SX. Alright, where are we at now? Let's see. I'm going to leave the DeLorean down here for now. Let's build this car. This is a car I found in there. A little underpowered, little underweight, and pretty low on the PP. So let's go build this car from scratch. So this is the Peugeot 208 GTI. And we're going to start off with our wide body. Pretty inexpensive on this car. It's amazing how they can make a car wide body just by tugging on it a little bit, isn't it? So it's got to apply that wide body, so give us a second.
That's basically the car that tried to kill me, so defo small PP energy there.
I gotcha. I'll put something different on this one. Let's put these on there. Boy, those are really sticking out on that one. Yeah, I like my wheels.
Rolling on the floor laughing.
This car's going to take a little work, I think, to get up to spec. Splitter. Side skirts. Nothing on the rear wing, but Type A rear spoiler. Or rear wing, I guess you'd say. Hood pin. Tow hooks. Super cool, just like KingPittdawg, of course. License plate. Type A rear only. And we can't do the caliper color yet. We're not going to anyway, it'll probably just be red. So let's tune this sucker and see what we can do with it. Alright, so we're going to get our basic stuff. Definitely don't need any weight reduction in this car. But we do need our power restrictor. And our ballast. Fully customizable computer. Fully customizable LSD. Fully customizable manual transmission. Increased body rigidity. This is a turbo car, so we're using racing intercooler. Racing air filter. Racing muffler. And racing exhaust manifold, or downpipe in this case. Brake pads. Brake kit 1. Brake kit 2, you don't have to do that, but I do. Fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller. We were at 252 horsepower without having to add any engine mods, so that worked out perfect. And we don't need any of this. So now we just got to go in and add some weight. And just so you guys know, you can run your ballast wherever you want. But we're going to need some ballast in this car because we got to add about 150 pounds. So 70 on the ballast. And we're right where we need to be otherwise, so everything else is good. And that is your 208 GTI by Citroen. Now, one thing might help this car, I would think, if you put this ballast all the way to the back. Yeah, that bumped. Well, that actually lost the PP a little bit, huh? Maybe put it in the middle? I don't know. It's hard to say. But you can do what you want with the ballast.
I was driving the Citroen D.
Ah, I gotcha. There's your Peugeot 208 GTI. It's a little bitty car. Not a bad looking interior on it though. Alright. Well, staying with France, why don't we go ahead and go through. This car is all set. Because I started actually here on my other video. So we started here on this video. So why don't we stay in France here, and we'll go with the... I don't know if you say Megane or Megane or Megane, I'm not sure. So this one, if you just look at it briefly, 22 ballast, 79 on the power restrictor after all of our mods. Only need weight reduction stage 1 to get to our spec weight.
Megan. Maybe the YouTube bot will say it properly?
Megan, I used to work with a Megan. Whoop. So, wide body first, then your wheels. Again,
Yeah,
17.
just like the first name, and it said it properly.
Oh, it did. Okay, so it's Megan. Okay. Well, that's easier. I always like these cars. Front spoiler, again, splitter. Side skirts. Wing, Type A. Racing items, hood pin. Type A I like. I don't know, they just look cleaner to me. Type B on the tow hook, again. Looks like it would be a little bit more durable. Super cool. Lights, Type A. And I added the yellow calipers. Golden yellow. Over to the tuning shop. Weight reduction stage 1 on this car. Power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer. LSD and manual transmission. Increased body rigidity. Racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, and exhaust. Brake pads and kit. Either one you want. Clutch and flywheel. Racing. Fully customizable suspension. Brake balance controller. And your tires. A very easy one. And we're right where we need to be, 254 horse and 2,800 pounds. 598.92. Like I said, most of these cars are running somewhere around high 580s to just right about 600. So, all right. So now, since we're staying in Europe here, why don't we go ahead and check out the Delta, the Lancia. This car, Zippy did pretty good with this car, and we're gonna have it's gonna have a little bit more get up because I think I've added some things to it. Because I don't think we had all of that stuff on this car initially, so. First things first. Don't forget, all the cars in this division are wide body. Now, 16s on this one. Front, okay, splitter. You got two options. This is the more aggressive. Going to give you a little more aero, probably. Side skirts. Rear splitter style diffuser in the back bumper. And the Type B in this case wing. I don't know what the hell this brake is. This air brake. So Type B on this one. Hood pin, tow hook, roll cage, full roll cage. Type C. Light bulb, license plate, and caliper color. Again, Zippy, if you're going to run this car again, just got to make a few mods to it, bud. I think Zippy was the only one brave enough to run this thing, and he did pretty well with it. So, weight reduction stage 1 to get it down to the 2,800 pounds. Power restrictor and ballast, fully customizable computer, LSD and manual transmission, increased body rigidity. This one is turbo, so I need to add the intercooler, which I didn't do on this one for some reason. I must have been getting tired. Racing air filter, muffler, and exhaust. Brake pads and kit. Clutch and flywheel. Fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller, and our tires. So now we're a little over, so we do need to go back in and make an adjustment. So we got 55 ballast to get this thing up to spec. And we're going to be at 99 on the power restrictor. Okay? Simple enough. We're at 587.39. These cars are balancing out pretty good considering the range of cars I'm building. So I really like the fact that we're getting pretty close. So if you want to drive a car just for fun, you should be able to do it and still be competitive. And I gotta stop backing all the way out of the garage. Alright, so we're getting down there now. Look at, we're 12 cars in, about 12 to go. So, since we're in the hot hatch area in Europe, let's go with the Scirocco next. This car again is already built and everything is to spec. This one I added everything in the previous video, so we'll do a quick overview. And I probably forgot to do this on a couple of them, but no big whoop. This car's badass looking, if you ask me. I'm not a big fan of front-wheel drive, so I won't be driving that car. But I had some success driving this car in the game normally, so where required. Alright, we got our wide body. Now we're going to go on to customization. Wheels. An 18-inch, again, the lowest you can go on this one, and there is no option for wide. So custom parts, front splitter, side skirts, rear splitter, and wing type A. Oh, I didn't go through the racing items, but in this car, you can't put a roll cage in it either. I can just go through that real quick with you. Hood pin, tow hook, light bulb, license plate. Go into the tuning shop and we'll start at the bottom, weight reduction stage 1 to get to our weight. Power restrictor and balance, fully customizable computer, LSD and manual transmission, increased body rigidity, racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, exhaust, brake pads and kit, clutch and flywheel, fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller, and your tires. So again, 255 horsepower and 2,800 pounds, exactly what you want in this car. Weight reduction stage 1. Oh, I did it again. By the time I get to the last car, I'll probably have it figured out. Well, staying in European-based cars, how about the Me Too? This was the most modified car on here that I had found so far. As you can see, we pretty much maxed out the motor on this thing. And then added a bunch of ballast. This car was a little light. I almost didn't build this when I wanted Alfa Romeo to be represented. Is that a word? Represented? Represented. Or represented, whatever you want to do. So again, first things first on these cars. Wide body. Wheels, and like I said, as close to 17 as you can get. Front splitter, side skirts, type A wing in this case. Hood pin, tow hook, no roll cage available. light bulbs, license plate, and caliper color. All adjustable after you've bought your brake kit. And again, one of the reasons I'm going through all of this with everybody is that then I can just refer you to this video. So tuning shop on this car took a lot. So first things first, bore up high lift camshaft, power restrictor and ballast, racing crankshaft, fully customizable computer, LSD manual transmission, increased body rigidity, engine balance, tuning and polish ports, racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, exhaust, brake pads and kit, clutch and flywheel, fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller. But we're not done yet. We got our tires, and then we had to go all the way to the Ultimate and get titanium connecting rods and pistons and a high lift camshaft. This is a very expensive car for you to build. I think it would be fairly competitive. But again, I wanted to get all the possibilities on there. This would probably be on one of those that would be a little bit challenging to drive. So on to the Mini. This car required a little bit of work, not too much. The biggest thing, if you might notice here, was the supercharger add-on. So, as always, first things first, wide body. Second step, we'll use the 16 inches because they're right in the middle. Splitter front bumper, side skirts, and Type A rear wing. Hood pin and tow hook. As you wish on these. In fact, on this one, the grille, I actually changed it to the open grille, a little more racy looking, and the blue caliper color. Alright, our marathon continues. Let's head over to the tuning shop. Power restrictor and ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable LSD, manual transmission, and increased body rigidity. Engine balance, tuning, and polish ports gets us where we need to be. High-end torque supercharger, racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, and exhaust. Racing brake pads, racing brake kit, brake balance controller, fully customized suspension, racing clutch and flywheel, and your tires. This one did not require anything up here in the Ultimate. So anybody that's going to run the Me Too, you're going to have to be at least level 50 on your collector. So settings for this car after all those mods. We're going to have 90 on the ballast and 100 on the restrictor, so nothing there that we need to adjust except for the ballast. We're getting down there. Alright, yet another European hatch. I guess that's actually the Focus, actually this Focus was developed in Europe. But again, this car is already built. You can see we had a little bit of weight reduction we needed to do. So first things first.
in UK, so back then yes in the EU.
Wide body. So front splitter, side skirts, Type A rear wing, hood pin tow hook, no roll cage available, light bulb, license plate, caliper color. Remember, you would have to come back if you didn't have the brake kit yet for the caliper color. Tuning shop, not a lot on this one. Weight reduction stage 1, the biggest thing. Weight reduction stage 2, power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer, LSD, and manual transmission. Increased body rigidity. Racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, exhaust. Brake pads, brake kits, either way, or both. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, racing, clutch, and flywheel, and the tires. Again, weight reduction stage 1, stage 2. So, biggest thing right there on this one was just the stage 2 add. So this car required quite a bit of detuning as well. This is the only one, I think, that we had to do the, well, yeah, the output adjustment. So we maximize the power restrictor. All right. First things first. Wide body. All right. Again, as close to 17 as you can. If you want to run 16s, you can. 18s if it's only available. Front splitter, side skirts, rear wing, medium 22. Racing items, hood pin tow hook, light bulb, license plate in the back, and the caliper color. Alright. Guess I'm going to have to go out and get my other water. So we went through all of this. Weight reduction stage 1 on this car. Power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer. LSD. Manual transmission. Increased body rigidity. Racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, exhaust. Brake pads. Brake discs. I didn't buy this one. Now I have. Brake balance controller. Fully customizable suspension. And our tires. Alright, off to... Oop, no, we just did that, didn't we? Yep, this one's done. We gotta go back to the garage. That's what I was doing. Really trying to find my water back there, but I think all I have is my ice. So, settings on this one. 97 on the output. This is the one we maxed out. Power restrictor at 70. Ballast at 24. And that should get you where you need to be. Look, I didn't back all the way out. Woohoo! Alright, so that was the TT Coupe. So, the Celica GT4. See, no engine mods on this one, just our standard stuff. It's at 2,800 pounds with...
You jinxed it. Next time, you'll go back to the main menu.
Yeah, I know. Thank you. Ballast at 28, power restrictor at 83 on this car, and we'll go build it. Wide body. I know I'm sounding like a broken record, but I don't want anybody to forget if they're watching just this part of the video. $16 wide on this one. Alright, well that's that. Custom parts, front splitter. This one is a little different in that you get two options, but this is the more aggressive one. It's painted, and I stayed with the painted rockers there. Rear splitter diffuser style rear bumper, and the wing is a custom wing set, medium, and it's supposed to be 22. I don't know why that changed. I had that fixed. It's weird that it went back. Hood pin, tow hook. And roll cage installed. Alright, racing items, we did that. Light bulb, license plate. And to the tuning shop we go. Hi-ho the Dario. Alright, we're going to speed it up here going through these. Weight reduction stage 1. Power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer. LSD and manual transmission. Increased body rigidity. It's a turbo car, so racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, and exhaust. Racing brake pads. Didn't get the other kit yet. Brake balance controller, fully customized suspension, racing clutch and flywheel. Torque vectoring center differential on this all-wheel drive car. And our 3 racing tires. And we'll go in and review the settings here. I think this one's already set. Oh, it says WSS setup. So 28 on the ballast and 83 on the power restrictor on this one. Again, you don't have to copy my settings. That's just pretty much default stuff there. We are getting down there. Keeping with our 90s theme here, we got the Impreza Coupe. Now this car I have not built yet, so let's build it now. First step first. Alright, we now have a wide body. Now we gotta put some tars on it. Alright. Wheels. Alright, there's our wide wheels. We're going to add type A in this case. Alright. I don't see a lot of difference here. Alright. I'm not sure what to do there. Roll cage we can put in this car. Alright, so this car's got a lot of power, but we're going to add stuff to keep it consistent and then detune it. Alright, starting in the sports tab, nothing. Power restrictor. Ballast. Alright, well. Fully customizable computer. LSD, manual transmission, and increased body rigidity. Alright, we'll keep going here. Yeah, get out of there. Come on, get out of there. Ah, you stupid thing. Alright, back to where we were. Oh, nope, that's not it. It's this one. Alright, I think we gotta get tires. Ooh, this thing may be hard to detune. Okay. Oh, we didn't get the torque vectoring center differential. Okay, let's go into our settings and find our sweet spot. I think we're going to have to completely pull the power restrictor down. No, we didn't actually. $74. And 10 on the ballast. That gives you your spec. And 572.70 on the PP. Oh, I did it again. Alright, we've done all of those, we've done all of these. We're down to the last few. Now, I will say this. Now, this would be kind of a crazy car to drive. But this thing looks pretty badass set up like this. I just wanted to go into this. 80-mile-an-hour speedometer. So this thing is way back heavy. So I moved some ballast on it, but 111 on the ballast, 94 on the power restrictor. Let's just go back and up and make sure I've got everything. So first things first, wide body installed on my DeLorean. Front splitter, side skirts, and the medium 22 wing. I didn't put any hood pins. It does have a tow hook. No roll cage allotted. We'll leave that. That looks pretty cool. So what do we have to do to this old beast to get the spec out of it, the power out of it? Alright, on to the tuning shop. Weight reduction stage 1. Power restrictor and ballast. Bore up high lift camshaft, high compression pistons. Fully customizable computer. LSD and manual transmission. Increased body rigidity. Racing air filter, muffler, and exhaust. Brake pads. Whichever brake kit you want, I'm buying both on all cars. Brake balance controller, fully customizable suspension, and our tires. That gets us our spec DeLorean. Alright, we are down to the last few cars that I have already built. So, the GR-Yaris was the last one I did when I realized my stream wasn't running. So this is like another car that required quite a bit to get it down in spec. Alright, one more time. First things first, you're going to have to grab the wide body. Then over to car customization. Alright, here we go. Oop, I think I did the wheels. So again, the closest you can get to 17s. All right. Wing type A again. All right. Okay, weight reduction stage 1. Power restrictor and ballast. Fully customizable computer. LSD and manual. Increased ride rigidity. Racing intercooler, air filter, muffler, exhaust. Brake pads, either one. Kit. Brake balance controller. Fully customized suspension, racing clutch and flywheel. Torque vectoring, center differential, and your tires. All right, so set the spec here. So it's 109 on the ballast and 79 on the power restrictor. And there you go. We are just about out of cars to go into, and I'm only going to go over the BRZ once. So let's do the other car, the Honda S2000, which looks really cool like this with the black wheels I put on there. Again, another car that didn't need engine mods. So first things first, we're going to do what? Now somebody should have anticipated that and put wide body.
Thin body.
No, this has already been wide bodied. 17-inch wide. Front, type B. As you can see, that's more aggressive. Side.
That was a joke.
I gotcha. Wing, custom wing, type 22, medium. Hood pin. tow hook, boom, roll cage, installed. All right, that is it there. And on to the mods. This car again already in spec. These are a natural aspirated car. Yeah. Power restrictor and ballast, fully customizable computer, LSD and manual transmission, increased body rigidity, racing air filter, muffler and exhaust, brake pads, brake kit. We're going to buy the second one. Drilled or slotted, whichever you prefer. Racing clutch and flywheel, fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller, and tires. That's it for our S2000s, one of my favorite cars. So back, and we're down to our last car on the list. Whoop, here's that baby winding out to 9,000 RPM. Alright, let's take a quick overview of this. 30 on the ballast and 92 on the power restrictor. Everything else is all good. Keep forgetting to do this. Again, this car hovering right about 600 there. We're at 253 and 2800. 50-50 weight balance. All right, last car. Did I go through everything? Regardless, you can see the only thing we really modified is increased body rigidity. Everything else is the bolt-on stuff. 30 on the ballast, 92 on the power restrictor. Oh my gosh, every freaking time. I'm not just thinking about it. I'll just completely become a robot. Take me to your leader. Bloop, 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 bloop. Alright, this is the car I started the last video, so it's appropriate that I end this video just before midnight here. This car needs very little, just a little bit of power reduction to get it down under where it needs to be. So let's go build the Subaru BRZ. Again, these are the Suba Yodas. The Toyota is the one next one down there, the 86. Celica 86, as I call it. Wrong place. This car looks badass with this wide body on it. And again, that's the first thing you do building a car. Wide body. Power restrictor and ballast, fully customizable computer, fully customizable LSD, manual transmission, and our increased body rigidity. Again, I haven't said it recently, but that is optional. I would definitely recommend it with the physics of the game, though, making a full-on race car out of a stock car. Racing air filter, racing muffler, exhaust manifold, brake pads. I got both kits. You can get whichever one you want. Clutch and flywheel, fully customizable suspension, brake balance controller, medium, soft, and hard tires. And that, folks, with zeros on the board, is your list of HSSSR cars, which is the HECS spec stock sprint car, race car. I'm sorry, spec sprint stock race car. We might drop an S from that, but we'll figure it out. Alright, so just to show you how exactly the same they are. The HSSSR car.
I say add some S.
Yes, I know. I have to have an acronym for everything. It's just easier. I'm telling you, why work harder? Work smarter. So this is our GR86 RZ. And again, basically the same car, 94 on the power restrictor. Everything else is static. So this is the last one. Again, if you want to build a different car, and I stated this, just let me know.
AR, YK, YKB and whatnot, X3.
Yep. And X3. Wide body first, folks. Splitter. A little bit different on this car than the BRZ, not much. Splitter rear bumper, wing, custom wing, medium 22. And that, my friends, is the HSSSR or HSSSR lineup. And again, if you want to do a different car, let me know. I'll build it and we'll make a spec of it, and I will just send you the copy. So that is it for tonight. Thank you, everyone. Tomorrow night we'll be on for practice, and we're at Fuji. The QHRs are going to be, I think, 11 or 13 laps. I haven't decided yet. We'll have to see how fast these cars run there, which I guess we could conceivably do right now. So just to give you another screenshot of it, the cars that are available on the list. Now they should be all the cars up there. Down, it's perfect. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4. So 24 eligible cars at this point. There are other cars we could build. Let me know if you're interested. Just kind of peeking through here. Could probably build this older Supra that I've way built to match the spec.
I just finished my RX-7 livery. D.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. We could probably do the RS Cosworth that need a little bit of horsepower and a little bit of weight. This one's probably not going to make power. So let me know if there's something else you want to drive. Let me know. I don't see nothing's jumping out at me. I don't think this EK could get heavy enough. I think like 23 or 2350 is the minimum you need. And the RS Focus we're not using because it's a little bit too powerful. I went through this. I suppose you could do the E-Type coupe here if you really wanted to be fancy. Even the NSX, it's not too overpowered, but by the time you add all the mods, this would be another good car.
Per second.
The YR. Here's the RX-8, which we built. You could just follow that. The A-Bar doesn't make the power or the weight. Some of these are just too powerful. We're getting into some duplicates now. I don't think I built a Clio RS trophy.
Wait, do we have a German car?
Do we have a German car? That's a good question. Do we have a German car? Yes, we have a couple. I like how they put the Mini Cooper in Germany. That's perfect. Yeah, we've got 3 German cars. And there, folks, is your list. So there you go. So any other questions, feel free to reach out to me. Again, we got until Saturday night. We'll be kicking off the Fall Championship Series. The new format, again, it's 3 qualifying heat races the first night, including a qualifying session. That'll set the field for the first race, and then the second and third races will be based on a die roll invert of the previous race's finish. So the first race, die roll for the invert. And again, those who don't quite understand the invert is going to be if there's 10 cars and I roll a 7 on the die, then we will take 7th place and put them in first and work our way up to first place with 6th and 7th, 5th and 3rd. No, 6th and 2nd, 5th and 3rd, and so on and so forth. So anything past 8, if the die roll, would be stay in their finishing order of race 1 or race 2. So it'll be a double die roll invert for the qualifying heat races. Gives a little, because I'm not paying points in every one of those positions, really adds a little wild card in there and makes the fast cars have to work their way through the field. So that's your qualifying heat races. Those are worth 20 points apiece for winning, and a minimum of 10 points for 10th place down. So the points, when you win a race, there's at least a 1-point bonus over just being 1 point ahead, if that makes sense. So like 101, that's the reason I did 101 on the main event race points. And then you get 1 extra point because second place is 18 on a qualifying heat race. Everything from there on down is 1 point for each position. So very simple. Again, you're going to get registered if you can't make all the qualifying heat races, but you won't get points if you don't race in them. But you will get registered as a finish for averaging your out for qualifying, because again, I'm changing the qualifying heat races to become the qualifying. So the main event will start based on the qualifying heat race, the 3 qualifying heat race average. And then again, your event points that we used before are going to be 100 points for winning the event. And again, that's the average finish in all the races. And then 97 for second, 95 for third, 93 for fourth, 91 for fifth, and then from 6th on down to 16th, it's 1 point. So you're going to get 80 points if you finish 16th. Idea is to keep the field close, so we'll see how it works out. Everybody can get a lot of points. And if this works out, we may have to tweak some things here and there. I was thinking I may have to tweak, like, things that we're going to learn from the Fall Championship Series is, will wins mean enough? And, you know, do I have the bonus points set up right? So we'll figure it out. Yeah, but that we're fixed for this Fall Championship Series, and I think it should be interesting. Again, race 1, or event 1, I'm sorry, at Fuji. It is the Fuji Fall Championship Series opener. And then the week, then we're going to go, I think, 2 weeks, and we're going to be on our European vacation in honor of Columbus discovering the Western world for the Eastern world. So we'll be at Brands Hatch in the UK, then Red Bull Ring and Monza. Not necessarily in that order. That's just the order I wrote them down. And then we'll be at the Nürburgring, the Green Hell, for our Halloween Green Hell ride. And that'll be, I'm going to try to hit every single setup there. We're probably going to qualify in the Nordschleife. That'll be qualifying for the first qualifying heat race. And the first qualifying heat race will probably be at the endurance track. And then our main events will probably be at the Grand Prix circuit or the 24 hours. We'll see. One thing about running an endurance race on the Nordschleife is fuel. so I'd prefer to run the endurance part on some of the shorter tracks in case, you know, we can watch the fuel better. So that's that. Then the fourth event, coinciding with Veterans Day in the United States, is going to be the Salute to Veterans at WeatherTech Raceway Laguna Seca. That'll be that's probably going to be a double event. So we'll have 2 races to make the 100 points. And of course we'll have the 3 qualifying heat races on the first night. And then we'll be on for our championship weekend. Thanksgiving weekend. So probably going to start that Black Friday night, that Saturday night, and then Sunday, and that'll be a double event, which means we're going to have 6 total races. So that'll be 2 triples. So all the qualifying heat races will apply to the tracks we're running. We're going to start at Suzuka, since that's the only track we haven't been to, and then we'll start running some tracks a second time. And I'm still trying to figure out the lineup for that. But everything else is pretty much set. Kind of feels good to have that set so I don't have to try to think about it constantly. These cars may be run again in the Fall Championship Series if they're successful here at Fuji. We may run the Cup cars. But I think we're going to run Group 3 for the 3 race. So we'll just keep that 3 theme going. It'll be a triple race for the European Vacation second event. This Fuji weekend is going to be a single race. So it'll be single, triple, and then probably another one that's going to be a single or a double at Nürburgring, and then WeatherTrek's probably going to be a double. So we'll figure that out. But again, we know that the championship series weekend is going to start at Suzuka. There's going to be at least 3 tracks and possibly 6 total tracks, but 6 total races in that one. But it'll be a double event, so we'll figure out how that's going to work out. 100% be double the points in that event, so we could determine the championship that weekend. You know, I mean, depending on how things go. So, exciting things. And then don't forget those of you who don't know, we have the PRG Fall and Winter series. The fall, I can't remember. I guess it's too late. I'm getting tired. What exactly? I forgot what Steve called it. And I've got my phone out here so I can find that real quick. I'm getting too many acronyms. I can't even remember the actual real names on it.
Fall Invitationals.
Fall Invitational, I think. Hang on. Oh, I can't get rid of my screen here. Yeah, Fall Invitational Series. Thank you. Thank you. And again, that'll be 16 drivers. We'll be running 2 groups, Group 2, Group 4, 3 lamp manufacturers, and there'll be teams racing. It'll be 9 total championships. So, Steve thinks my point system is hard. I'm lost. I'm just waiting to see how it works. So, all right, everyone. Thank you again, and keep your ears open. Keep your notifications on. Make sure you hit that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that notification bell, like I said before. You'll know when I'm on, and you'll know more about what's going on here with the Holiday Exhibition Challenge Series. And keep this video tagged so you can go through and build your HSSSR car or HSSR car. And coming up next year, again, the Super Cup car we're going to build, we're going to develop that. I'm going to have as many cars at that as we can, because we may only allow people to run 1 car. So we'll see how that goes. And again, Fuji, I'm going to allow you to run at least two cars if you want, since it's going to be a single main event, but you gotta choose what you want to run by the 3rd qualifying heat race. You have to choose that, because whatever one you finish the last qualifying heat race in is going to be the car you're going to run the main event in. So I think that's fair to everybody. Anybody has any questions, again, post to me in the HECS S2 official chat that we have. If you're not a part of that, reach out to me on the PlayStation Network, or you can also catch me at KevinP_KPD on Instagram. I haven't been paying as much attention to Instagram because of my time restrictions, but coming up in the spring, I'll try to be hitting that a little better and doing a better job of getting those posts up. So getting posts up on there as well, so people can see it. So that's it for now. Thanks again, everybody. We'll see you around at least tomorrow night for some practice. It's going to be later before I get on, so it'll probably be after 9, possibly 10 o'clock Central before I get on. But some guys have the room saved, so I haven't even decided what cars I want to run yet. So default would be probably this BRZ, or the 86, the Subiyotas, one of them. This one I already got a livery on, so it'd make it a lot easier. But I really want to try this Me Too, or Mito, or whatever you say that thing. I think it's Me Too. But yep, should be interesting to see what people want to drive on this. There's some pretty sexy cars here. You got a couple of them right here. Some cool nostalgia cars here. I love the Alpine. The Scirocco for a front-wheel drive car is a really good car to drive. I've driven that one. And you could go back in time and drive the DeLorean. I don't think there's a flux capacitor on that one, though. All right, everybody. Thanks again. We'll see you around. Until next time, KingPittdawg out.